to start this game. In the first half of this game, the Bulls really been in this game close. They won the first quarter. They end up losing the second quarter by 11 points, and that's where that biggest discrepancy comes in at. But the Bulls are playing with some good energy out there. Some execution things that they definitely can look to tighten up, I think, as well. Outside of that, though, things are going pretty good for the Chicago. Well, they're down by 8 points. Let me not overstate how good they're playing. But, when you look at some of the things for the Bulls, they're losing the rebounding battle by 1. They have 16 assists on 21 made baskets, which isn't bad there at all. They got some things they definitely need to tighten up. Second chance points are right there with them, 6-5. New Orleans Pelicans have the edge on that. We're getting outscored by 10 points in the paint, which is a big part of it as well. But yeah, how you guys are feeling about it? I know a lot of people are asking how this team is going to look now with DeMar DeRozan being back out there rather than how they look when him and Zach out. Do you guys feel like the ball's sticking a little bit too much? Do you feel like the team's still moving on without the ball some? We got big contributions off the bench so far. Ayo Dosunmu's 3 of 6 with 7 points. You got Torrey Craig with 7 points as well in this game. Kobe White's having a bad shooting night. He's 1 for 5 so far from the field. Hopefully that improves from him. Patrick Williams hasn't really made, he's 50% from the field, but he's being more aggressive, and you like to see that. 5 points from him, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block from Patrick Williams as well. But right now, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, and then Alvarado coming off the bench are really killing the Chicago Bulls. So, let's see. They got hot in that second quarter. That's a big part of why you have this discrepancy you do right now. If the Bulls can come out, match that. The Pelicans shot 61% in the second quarter of this game. So, you would think that that's going to be unsustainable, right? So, let's see how the Bulls can get back in it. Let's see if they can battle. Let's see if they show that heart, that spirit of competition that we saw from them before. If they do, they can get back in this game. This is still a game that's not out of. I know it's an 8-point lead. The Pelicans really came on a lot there towards the second half, latter part of the second quarter. But this is still a game where it looks like the Chicago Bulls can still very much be in it. They got to come out of this halftime. They got to execute on both sides of the ball, take care of the ball. If they do that, we'll see. Let's see how you guys are feeling though. CF and Red from Tolinto. Tate Hollins is in the building. He says, not a totally bad first half, but DeMar running with cement blocks on the shoes. We've talked about it. Like moving with a faster pace, playing off ball are two things that do not suit the way that DeMar DeRozan likes to play basketball. And so, it definitely changes some things. Shay says, I know Zion is going off in the second quarter, but you have to love the way Patrick Williams has held him in the first quarter. Yeah, listen, Patrick Williams, I got to give credit where credit's due when it comes to Patrick Williams. Defense, offense, he's just playing a really good brand of basketball right now as Patrick Williams. So, it is what it is. BKR Sports says you can see a clear difference in what this team is compared to what it is with Zach. His value is going downhill massively. Me and you, Chad, I sent you a DM on Twitter about that, but I agree with you there, bro. Nikola Vucevic needs to get low. That's what – never mind. I'm not going to go for it. Never mind. Offense looks okay and still competitive so far, but I don't get Billy keeps substituting everyone out to get DeMar back in every 2 to 3 minutes. Listen, and this has always been one of those faults of Billy Donovan. He relies heavily on his stars, and DeMar DeRozan has been the one here. And so I would like to see Billy Donovan realize, okay, listen, let the guys figure it out without DeMar on the court. Right, I don't have to be in a rush to get DeMar back in the game. Not necessarily saying you want to keep him out, but listen, Julian Phillips only played 3 minutes, and he gave some solid minutes in that. DeMar DeRozan is 20. He's played the most minutes out of any Bulls player in the first half of the game. He's 20 minutes. The next closest player to that is Kobe White with 18. You don't have to play DeMar DeRozan 20 minutes a half. You don't have to do that. So, we'll see. You would think that with the way the Bulls played against the Milwaukee Bucks, Billy Donovan would be a little bit more apt to allow the roster to kind of do its thing. But, unfortunately, that's just a downside of Billy Donovan. Rondo 2 Ross says P. Will is locked in. Yeah, listen. P. Will. And look, we've always talked about how it's just P. Will understanding the effort he has to give. And he's giving that now, right? So let's see if he can make it even more consistent than what he's been. I think he's with his 7th game in a row now where he's been locked in. Shay says, I know Kobe White isn't doing much scoring, but at the same time, he's doing a lot of other things. Completely agree with you on that, right? 5 assists from him, 1 rebound from him so far. Solid defensive rotations from Kobe White as well. So there you go. Bulls for Life says, seems like the Pelicans have been watching the tapes and know to close out on Kobe. Yeah, But this is where you got to move the ball around. This is definitely where you got to move the ball around. Man, I like us without Zach so much. It just shows how low his basketball IQ is. Listen, y'all killing Zach LaVine, but I understand it. Definitely understand it. Quentin says, all I care about is that I see heart and teamwork. Facts, bro. Completely facts. Got root for you on that one. I agree with you on that one. I had a root canal yesterday, brother. I win would make the pain. A win would make the pain much better. Listen, shit. Root canals. Listen, get you some coke. No, I'm just fucking with you. Speedy recovery, bro. Speedy recovery, man. Zion got some easy buckets, but I don't think we playing defense bad at all. Here's the thing, right, that I'll say with the defense is closing out on three-point shooters. We allowed them to start getting hot by not closing out on the three-point shooters, not contesting that, and I would like to see us get back to that. And I think if we do, we'll be okay. I think Vooch and Zach were the ones that killed each other. I never would have thought I'd say that beforehand, but Vooch is a new player without him here. I mean, listen, I get where you like. I still think it looked a little bit different without DeMar, but I definitely get what you're getting at. And what we're seeing too without Zach is just the ball's moving around more, even with DeMar DeRozan in there. So it's Seaway's World is in the building. Says this is still a pretty good game. Nikola Vucevic is just not having the best shooting night thus far, nor is Kobe. That can be turned around. DeMar may be showing them up a tad, but not a huge difference. Yeah, listen, that's why I say this is still a game that the Bulls can get back in, right? Even with the lead being 8 points right now. If you watch the game, you understand like, hey, that a lot of that happened in the latter half of the second quarter. The Bulls were in that even 2-4 point lead to the Pelicans have for most of that. So this is a game the Bulls can definitely get back in. They could definitely get back in this game. Let's hope that they execute to do it. Melvin in the building says the facts teams are hesitant to trade for Zach LaVine. If true was a point I tried to make with Bulls fans who kept saying we were making Zach a scapegoat when Zach did it to himself with his play. Oh yeah, anybody who was on that Zach LaVine is being made the scapegoat shit is just stupid. Like I'm sorry, like Zach LaVine wasn't made to be no damn scapegoat. It wasn't. He's in a situation of we talked about it before. Part of this is his own creation. It just is what it is. He has an ownership in that. BKR Sports, Vucevic may not be having the best shooting game, but his energy is so much better. I can't argue that at all. Eads Instruments says, Haize, I'm out with the fan. What's your take so far? The Bulls are playing competitively. They are playing with heart. They're playing with heart. If it wasn't for that run, they went on in the latter half of the second quarter. We're talking about a 4-point lead. I have just got over the flu from past few days, but did not make me sick again by losing this game. Let's get a win streak going. Man, listen, for the Bulls to have their first win streak would be crazy. Pat's pump faking too much for me when he catches it behind the 3-point line. He's playing with great energy, though. Listen, I can't argue that. So I do think that people there's some hesitation there at times, not nearly as much as what we saw, like even at the start of the season. So I don't want to critique it too hard, but I think him not necessarily shooting the ball the best as well is starting to get in his head a little bit. I think if he comes out and that's in the second half, he hits his first couple of shots, you're going to see P. Will get back into that confident shooting stroke again. It looked really good without DeMar. He's just slow everything down. I mean, that's true. Would you consider playing Drummond or Zion instead of Vooch? His mobility might let him keep up more with Zion than what Vooch can. I mean, ideally, you don't want either one of them on Zion. Ideally, you want Patrick Williams on Zion. Like, that's what you want. Now, when Pat isn't guarding him, I wouldn't mind seeing Drummond take some goes at it, but, it is what it is. Patrick Williams is showing a bit of potential we all knew he had, but just never takes a shot when it's his shot to take. And he takes the shot when he should probably pass it up. I get what you're getting at with that one. Do you think after the trade deadline we should sign young players with potential like Kevin Porter Jr. or Kai Jones to see what they can do and maybe a new environment will change their behavior? No. Now listen, one thing that AKA is not going to do is sign anybody with character concerns. He hasn't done that over his career. That's even before Chicago. So players with character concerns, they're not coming to Chicago. I can tell you that right now. I think everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a chance to rehab their career, make some better decisions, and I hope both those guys do get another shot at it. But listen, Kevin Porter Jr. may be a different animal altogether, but it's not going to be here in Chicago. Not going to be here in Chicago. I want DeMar to fit on this team so bad, but he kills everyone else's rhythm, it seems. I wish they could figure it out. There is absolutely figure it out. Bring him off the bench. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. There are a few times I wish P. Will, AC, and even Io to shoot it. We saw a lot of that last year. Keep the threes coming. Find the hot hand. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Bulls got to get in shooting rhythm. In that first half of the game, I want to make sure. Let me double check. The Bulls shot 59% in the first half, first quarter of the game. They shot 59%. They shot 36% in the second quarter. So if they can get back to a respectable shooting percentage, I think we're right back in this game. I want DeMar to fit on this team. So I already read that one. Any updates on how Dalen Terry? I do G League videos every Sunday, right? So if you want updates on how Dalen was hurt too, so keep that in mind. Dalen missed so many G League games because he was getting hurt. So that's part of it too. Zion constantly looks like a fat ass, even when he's putting in the work. Jesus Christ. Jesus, what did Zion do to you? Lord have mercy. I may leave a voicemail about this one day, but I think Kobe, Pat, Io, and AC were thriving with the extra responsibility against the Bucks. If DeMar and Vooch can continue to support them, we got hope. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. Jack Collins, Zach isn't on. No, Zach's on the bench. They posted pictures of him arriving at the arena, so he's there. So yeah, we're not gonna start that. Zach is there in the arena. He may be in the box. Who knows? Not her box, the box. That's is what it is. Let's keep it moving. Valanciunas has been balling this season. I think we've locked him up for the most part tonight. We've done an all right job on Valanciunas, right? It's not been he's 4 for 8 from the field, 5 rebounds in this game, only 9 points. But again, here's the thing: the bend but don't break mentality. They're doing a solid enough job. But all right, y'all. Love you guys, man. Go Bulls. See Red. I will be back here post game show. Love you guys, man.